Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Storm Tracker 4 showing you why we're expecting more snow overnight. Just how significant will that be? Ben's got the updated forecast coming up.
But first, an update on breaking news from a neighborhood in Harrison Township where someone was shot to death at a condo complex. Neighbors tonight telling us what they heard and saw as they wait for answers about the circumstances of the shooting.
This is happening at the Harrison Woods condominiums, east of I-94, north of Metro Parkway, and that's where Mara McDonald is standing by with the latest. Mara.
Devin, we have some more details for you. Take a look behind me. You can see the sheriffs are out here. The ME is out here as well. Here is the latest from the sheriff's department. The dead person inside here is the person who actually broke into this townhouse. They say is a 26-year-old man out of Redford. And here is what we're starting to piece together out here, that the man and woman who live in this townhouse, at least one of them was home today, the woman, along with another guy, and that they somehow have some sort of connection to the person who broke into the townhouse. Unclear what that is. So this was not some sort of a random crime thing. This is somebody that they have some sort of familiarity with. This person breaks into the townhouse, ends up getting shot in the head, and is found at the top of the stairs by the time the sheriff's department gets over here. Now, neighbors tell us that they heard the commotion and originally didn't think much of it. They certainly didn't think it was gunshots. They heard or thought maybe they were hearing some sort of construction noise. Take a listen.
This is a very peaceful community over here. This complex, we have no issues. Not that I know of. I've been here almost 2 years. It's definitely awakening. I'm eager to learn more what happened, and I'm hoping it wasn't an invasion.
Back here live, according to the sheriff's department, that they have brought in the woman who lives in this townhouse, along with a 26-year-old man who they say is from Inkster, in for questioning after the shooting inside here. Both of them have not been charged, and they have been released. Emmy is finishing up in here right now with the deceased, and that's where it stands right now. According to the sheriff's department, there is no need for anybody in this complex or the area to be afraid, and this was not something that was just somebody trying to steal. This was somebody who was targeting somebody specifically. We're live in Harrison Township tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you. And we will update that story for you coming up tonight at 11. All right, Mara.
All right, Storm Tracker 4 showing something wintry is heading our way.
Questions, though, about just how much of that snow is coming our way, and this little worrisome note that could be some freezing rain coming with it, Ben.
Yeah, that's the tail end of the system, guys, but for most of us, this is going to be more than what we picked up over the weekend, and probably our biggest snow since Christmas. Still, nevertheless, this is not going to be a world ender here. Storm Tracker 4 has just got snow showers. They're lifting out of northern parts of Indiana. When we stop the radar and well, you can see that the northern extent of that is pretty much there in northern parts of Indiana. All those radar returns in southern Michigan not making it to the ground. Fort Wayne reporting snow, as is Lima right now. Winter weather advisories start at 1 a.m. tonight, overnight, and extend through 4 p.m. tomorrow. So this is the bottom line. Late evening tonight through midday Tuesday. Tricky drive in the morning and could give us 2 to 4 inches of total accumulation. So we'll talk more about who gets what and what comes after the snow in just a few minutes, guys.
Yeah. Okay, Ben. And Brendan Rue and Paul Gross will be tracking the snow overnight as the system moves through, so be sure to wake up with them for the updated forecast on Local 4 News today, starting at 4:30 a.m.
All right, let's move now to the coronavirus as the state tracks new cases, including the UK COVID variant.
Overall, the state reports 3,011 new cases and 35 deaths over the past 2 days. The Michigan Department of Education has asked the federal government to waive standardized testing requirements for 2021. That request was also made during the Trump administration. The state superintendent is hoping for a different result with President Biden.
There are now 13 cases of the coronavirus variant in Washtenaw County, 4 in Wayne County, something the state is watching very closely.
There are likely more cases that we have not yet identified, and there's possibly spread of the variant that is happening right now. This variant is more easily spread from person to person, and that means that for any given case, it will likely infect more people and lead to more spread. And this means possibly more cases overall, more hospitalizations and deaths. The good news is, though, this variant does not yet appear to cause more severe disease. Our current tests can identify it, and our current vaccines appear to work against it. But this new, more easily transmitted virus is still very concerning. We do not want to have to go backwards to slow the great progress we've already made.
Despite those concerns, there's been pushback to the state's extended pause put on high school winter contact sports.
Students are itching to play, coaches are eager to coach, and they're speaking up about it. Grant Herms is live with the new push to get play started again. Grant, good evening.
Well, good evening. That pause on winter contact sports, that's basketball, hockey, and wrestling, has been extended another 3 weeks. And everyone from players to coaches to parents to some school leaders are calling on the governor to reconsider, or they say she'll have to play defense in court.
An extended timeout for Michigan contact sports. The ban now pushed to February 21st. Over the weekend, the Michigan Basketball Coaches Association sending an open letter to the governor, asking her to let sports start on the 1st, saying many student athletes have started to cross state lines to play or are losing faith they'll ever play again. Writing, they are doing what you asked them to do, but it's been 10 months since we've played basketball in our state. They are tired of being pushed back over and over again. Online, student athletes sending out their promises with phrases like, "I will hold myself and my team accountable," with the hashtag #LetUsPlay. Many tagging the governor. A petition also circulating online with more than 25,000 signatures. The push to play is similar to the push last fall, which was eventually successful. Many winter sports teams this weekend watching their football teams play their final games without knowing if they'd ever start their own. But it also comes as a new, more contagious variant of the coronavirus has begun to spread, and the University of Michigan has put a 2-week pause of its own on sports, including basketball. Despite that, Detroit Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Nikolai Vitti writing a letter of his own to the governor on Monday, warning there may be legal action on the way if she doesn't reconsider. Writing, the opposition, despair, and anger to the continuing suspension of winter contact sports is rapidly growing in the city and across the state. Please do not let this frustration reach the level of a lawsuit.
And late this afternoon, Local 4 learned that the group behind that expected lawsuit, Let Them Play Michigan, has retained former U.S. Attorney Matthew Schneider to represent them. They also plan on having a rally against the governor and the health department this weekend. Kimberly?
Okay, Grant, thank you. And the governor did address winter contact sports during her press briefing this afternoon. She pointed to that new variant as the main cause for concern. Listen.
It's important that we keep watching the numbers. I mean, I understand the concern that parents and athletes have and their desire to re-engage, but I'll also point to some events that just happened in the last couple of days with seeing this variant growing in and around Washtenaw County and around the University of Michigan campus.
And turning now to the issue of vaccines, the governor and Dr. Caldoun reiterated Michigan is not getting enough doses to meet the demand.
But they said our state is among the top 20 in the nation when it comes to getting people vaccinated. That is little consolation, of course, to those most in need of the shot who are struggling to get it, while others jump the line before they're eligible.
Local 4 defender Sean Lay exposed this line jumping last week and joins us now with an update. Sean, good evening.
The Local 4 defenders exposing vaccine line jumpers and the health systems apparently letting it happen. The response from so many of you has been strong. One Local 4 viewer telling the defenders an elderly woman high risk for COVID has been unable, like so many, to get a vaccine appointment. And she can't believe a friend of hers in her 40s, a stay-at-home mom, was able to get an appointment. Dr. Carl Lauder is an infectious disease doctor at Beaumont Hospital.
There's no point in getting mad at the people who jumped the line. We can't do anything about it. It's always going to be that way.
And he's not surprised that people are cutting in line.
We have people who can't wait to get the vaccine, and there are always people like that who feel that they're special. If they have a friend or someone will do them a favor and get them in or somehow or other. There's really nothing we can do about it. But the best attitude about that is to say that The more people that get vaccinated, the better.
The Pfizer vaccine has 5 doses per vial. Beaumont says they're getting a 6th dose out of the vial and getting that dose right into arms. Dr. Lauder says Beaumont bought thousands of special syringes to get that 6th dose, only to have Pfizer change its label from 5 to 6 doses recently and now deliver fewer doses in recent days.
They're shorting places like us. You know, we thought we were, by being frugal and careful, we were getting extra doses and get more people in. But now they're decreasing what they're delivering at by about 20%.
Dr. Lauder's message tonight for people who are frustrated, he is saying, look, don't worry about line jumpers. Just keep at it. Be persistent on trying to get your vaccination appointment. A quick update on that. So many have reached out to Local 4 Defenders saying they're using the Meyer text system. It's working for them to get an appointment. Oakland County, 180,000 people have now signed up for Oakland County's Save Your Spot program. But again, the doctor says, don't give up. Back to you.
Okay. Sean, thank you.
The rumor mill has been swirling about a group of local teachers winning the $1 billion Mega Millions jackpot. As those rumors started to spread, the principal of the elementary school in question decided to blog about it. As Priya Mann explains, his message is a reminder about what really matters.
Well, we know the rumors that a group of teachers in Novi winning that $1 billion jackpot are not true, but the principal of Novi Woods Elementary put out a pretty inspiring blog that's gaining a lot of traction.
As of right now, we're at over 8,900 views. So in Mr. Asher world, that's a big view.
David Asher's blog, A View from the Principal's Seat, was a must-read this weekend. Rumors were swirling that a group of teachers at his school, Novi Woods Elementary, won the Mega Millions jackpot. Well, they might not have won $1 billion, but as David points out, there's plenty of ways to be a winner.
And I was really hoping that other people could find some inspiration that, well, maybe we're all hoping for $1 billion. In many ways, we have won the lottery. We have to look around and find the goodness that we all have.
He wrote there are plenty of ways he'd won the lottery through his faith as an educator in Novi and with the people he cherishes.
I have won the lottery with family and friends. Our daughters are super special, but the family and friends that we have really make me super rich.
And then cue the awes.
It's no secret for people who know me that my number one reason for winning the lottery has been my wife. I love her dearly. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I don't shy away from that.
A reminder that there's much more to life than what's in your bank account, even if it's $1 billion.
There are tough days, right? We have tough days. We have tough moments. Being able to lean on people, getting help when you need to get help. And really, the entire world has had to go through that, right? Figure out ways when you can help other people.
In Detroit, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Great way to look at it.
Isn't it, though?
All right, still ahead, opening a restaurant during a pandemic. Find out what's coming to Sterling Heights this March.
Also wearing not just one mask, how about 2? Health experts say it's something to consider. We'll look at the science on that next.